How is everyone today? Good, yeah. So we got some good, got these kind of ebb and flow, ebb and flow. All right. So surrender into the stillness. There was actually more of a descriptive title to this, but here we go. It was about facing fear and surrendering into the stillness. Peace will meet you there. And so we come into this. I always go back to Charles Fillmore, Charles and Myrtle. Charles Fillmore says, fear is the dust that gets in our eyes. That's an interesting way to look at it. Fear is the dust that gets into our eyes. And the metaphysical meaning of fear, according to Charles Fillmore, and is stated in the Revealing Word, fear is one of the most subtle and destructive errors that the carnal mind in man experiences. It paralyzes mental action. It weakens both mind and body. It takes our breath away. Blood vessels constrict. Cortisol shoots through our brain and our system. Fight or flight, survival, making choices from this state are rash and are not thought through. So I chose this because I don't think I'm the only one that's walking with fear right now and what's happening in our world. The fear that I'm walking with and walking through is for my daughter and her wife. I have a trans daughter and her wife, and I do everything I can to not allow my mind to go into that fearful place, but I go into a wholeness of that they will be fine, that nothing's gonna that not any care is going to be cut off for her, which could happen. So there's lots of which could happens. There's a lot of happens. There's a lot of happening. There's a lot of changes. And day to day, we don't know what's going to happen next. So for myself, this is something that, I mean, we all walk through fear. You do not get out of this human life experience without having to walk through fear. That's what it's about, being on this earthly plane and being in body. So whatever is maybe going on now or going to go on or what was, we all face fear. And for myself, it was, what I find is, because like I was saying, part of that was Charles Fillmore and part of that was me. It takes us out of our heart. It takes us out of our body. It takes us out of our presence and knowingness that's there for us to listen to, for us to be able to come into a peaceful place and trust. Peace, be still, and know that I am present, I am here. But it's so easy to, and then how do we let go? It's like being inside a tornado. It's being inside a cyclone, and it's pulling at us and it's yanking at us and say, come on, I want you to spend your energy and your time in this place where I can feed on you, where I can just take your energy away from you, where I can make you sleepless, when I can make you come into this place of, I know I can control this, but if this would happen, if this, and this, I can control this. And then when we do that, what happens? Does it build upon each other? Does it just get worse? It gets worse. And and the thing is, as I think about what, body, mind, spirit, our bodies talk to us and our bodies tell us what's going on when we go into that. Okay, what happens when we go into a love state? What happens when, what happens when we go into a love state? Expansion. Yeah, it's a love state for for the partner, or you get all Twitter pated. Remember, Thumper gets all Twitter pated in Bambi because oh goodness, no, there she is, and or there he is, and or there's my grandchild, or there's my puppy or a kitty, or just oh look at the flowers, just this wave of energy of love and presence can come over us. It's there all the time. So that's that feeling, right? What's that feeling? I want you to just close your eyes right now and take a moment. I just want you to think about a moment that gives you that feeling. Did you have one today? Did you have one last week? Was it a flower? Was it a bird? Was it a loved one? And it's okay if you can't find one right now, too. Okay. Okay, now open your eyes. And now I want you to go into a fear space. No, Niobe. Go into the fear space because we're going to have, it's about perceiving that shift of feelingness, that body, what it does. So, and I'm sorry, because we're going to go back to love, but go into that fear space. No, Mr. Bill, no, Mr. Bill, no. It's like, oh, it's like, so, all right, go into the fear space. I'm sorry. Try that. Glenn, you just took us right on. All right. That's probably what was supposed to happen, but we know that fear feeling. It probably already triggered it as I started talking about it. Andrew, did you have something to say? No? Okay. We have that. We know the difference in the feeling nature and everything in between for ourselves. And feeling safe, feeling loved, just feeling peaceful, just feeling balanced. And then the other side of anger, fear, nervousness, loss. But that's the only thing we've got is control over is what am I perceiving in my mind? What am I listening to? What I'm allowing to come into my mind? Where is it? Where are my thoughts going? And being that witness of it's got me. It has me. Fear has me. And it's making me angry. It's making me frightened. I'm frightened. I'm angry. And I want to do something about it, but I can't do anything about it. But you can. We can. What we can do is when we face that fear and we look it in the face and say, you can't have any part of me. You see it, we feel it, and say, I can't do this right now. I can't do this. I can't allow this to be happening right now. Where do you go? Into the stillness. You breathe into your heart center. You breathe into all of your body. You take your mind and you lovingly take it into your heart and breathe into the stillness. I'm just sharing this because this is what I do, and this is what I've been doing. Because when I do that, I just push all that other out there. I push out what I'm afraid about for my daughter and her wife. I'm afraid about for all else that's going on in my world. Yes. Go into the eye of the storm because there's peace in the eye of the storm. It does. Absolutely good. He was saying golden sunlight comes out into you, down into you. And I have found that when I surrender into the stillness. It's like all those clouds, everything just pushes out, everything just moves, and I have space, and it's noise. It's this vibrational noise that's happening. And I'm able to witness it. And I can witness it without judgment, without anything, because in witnessing it, for me, at least in witnessing this, I'm like, what can I really do about this? I can hold presence in the stillness. I can hold love vibration. I can hold that vibration in that stillness. Because when we're in that love energy, when it is moving from our crown all the way through us and grounding us into the planet, then it's expanding. And you can't. Love never dies. Love is stronger than fear. Is love stronger than fear? Yeah, love is stronger than fear. It thinks as fear wants to think it's stronger, but fear is really just a coward. Fear is something that is saying, I want something that I can't have. I want something that I want to take. I want something that I can grab a hold of you. Eve and I were talking about this before service started today. Teachers that have been to me have, of course, there's Joshua, there's Jesus, and others that have gone through trials. But in our modern era, I look at Nelson Mandela and I look at John McCain, and because they're just two examples of people that went through being imprisoned. John McCain was horribly tortured. Nelson Mandela went through his own torture. They were in just by themselves. But look who they came out as. Nelson Mandela came out within that stillness. Nelson Mandela came out with the truth of presence of love and acceptance for all of his nation. John McCain came out of that. He didn't come out of that as an angry, vicious man. No, he didn't. He came out of that with a purpose to serve in his way. But he didn't allow them to take him. He did not allow anger and fear to take them. Do you see what I'm talking about? About fear, not allowing fear to have us. And to me, they're just examples. They're just examples, of course, when we look at Joshua and his walk in his life as the master that he was, and then as he was able to endure what he endured from those that couldn't see him, and there was fear. So I've been going into stillness, and as I was wanting it to say, facing fear, go into the stillness, and peace will meet you there. Because that's where peace is. Peace and love and answers, a willingness of being able to understand, well, this is what I can do today. Maybe it's just I can be kind and loving to my family or friends, or maybe I can serve in my community in some way. But then also, maybe it's just I can hold the immense, intensive power of love, and I can just be a beacon, and I can send it out, and I can send it out, and send it out consciously, sending out love in the face of what's creating fear, in the face of fear. Is that a possibility? Hello?
Yes.
I know this is not easy. This is not an easy, nothing's easy right now. Nothing's easy right now. And it's not easy. There's different mindsets, different thought processes. But what it comes down to is remembering that there is a oneness. There is a oneness of all of us. And we start with ourselves. We start with ourselves of being able to come into that stillness, face the fear that is going on. That's what I do, is I face that fear, and I'm like, because for me it's like, I don't need to manifest the fear that I have for my daughter and her wife. If I focus on that, what you focus on, you will get. What you focus on, you create. I'm not going to do that. So it comes in, I feel it, and I push it, I let it go. And I surround them in this amazing energy of love, this amazing energy of love, and that they're safe and they're fine. They're safe and they're fine. That's what I do. So because we are amazing creators, are we not? We do. We create. Oh, I can remember how that used to just really gripe me. You create your own reality. Ooh. Oh man. You can. And also there can be people, and pardon me, there can be unity people that kind of wheel that at you. Well, what are you thinking, Niobe? What are you creating? It's like, and sometimes that is a little rude and painful to say to somebody that's going through a tough time. They may not want to hear that. There's other ways to be able to get somebody back into that loving space of surrendering into love, surrendering into spirit, surrendering into Father, Mother, Spirit, God, Goddess, surrendering into that oneness that is there. Oh my goodness. Who knows the oneness that's there? The oneness that is there. Yeah, the oneness of the beloved. That's there. And does that oneness show you the road, the thought, the path, the guidance to go down? And has it ever let you down? There's that fear thing. Yeah. It's like, yeah. It's like, there's that fear thing. It's like, you're really not listening to me, are you? It's like, and I was like, but this, and then the thing is like, we think about that oneness is it's outside of us. It is us. That's the thing. It is us. We are oneness. We are divine love in action, in body, in the wonderful cells. I've got a medical background as a massage therapist, sound healer, and all these different energy modalities that I've taken. But of course, I had to do anatomy and physiology. And it's fascinating. You just look at one cell of what's happening in one cell in your body. It's a world in and of its own. It's fascinating what is going on in there. It's its own little world. I mean, it's kind of like, oh, well, you could have little planets in there. I mean, the different particles of that, and just the energy that we emanate, what keeps us, our heart going. I was telling her I was grumpy when I got in here this morning. I'm sorry, because I had having a little bit of a heart thing going on. I'm having throwing some PDCs, just a regular heartbeat. And so I went to go get a stress test on Wednesday, and on my lung capacity, I'm not able to do the treadmill. So let's do it with medication injection. Oh, that was rough. I'm going to tell you, my cells and my particles were going. It was so recovering from that. It's got a good thing on the other side. My heart's okay. There's a little weird something, but I'm okay. But it's taken me 2 days to get over that. And so what is that? I mean, it's like, we can just look at, okay, wow, something that took me down for 2 days. But in those 2 days, it was a time of just myself giving myself that rest and loving and coming into that space of like, okay, you know, it was rough, but look what's on the other side. I'm blessed. I'm blessed with a good report on the other side. Gotta take a little medication, do it at night, but I'm blessed with on the other side, and I know. So welcome to being in body and being in a body that's getting older. You're only old once, and then maybe you can come back around and do it again. So, but it's, what can you do? What can you do to come into when there is that fear energy because of just chaos? Because there's just chaos occurring. When the chaos happens, what can you do to remind yourself? What's your touchstone? What's your touchstone? Do you have it? My breath. Your breath? Okay. Eva? Stop, breathe, love. Stop, breathe, love. That's Eva's. Anybody else got a touchstone? Glenn?
Coming from the most intense time that I've experienced where physically in body, I was very stressed. I was alone in the wilderness. I was scared. I was hurting. And as the fear descended upon me, I yelled out, I am a child of God. That was my touchstone.
Oh, wow. I brought you home.
And safely delivered. I got helicoptered out of the wilderness.
Oh, well, that's a hallelujah. Wow. That is. Wow. There. That is an amazing example there, Glenn. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah. Ruth.
Well, when I had my heart, I was at the hospital, my heart stopped beating. And so they had to put a pacemaker in my heart. But you know, I've never worried about it. I don't even think negative about it or anything like that. I think everything is fine, everything is good.
Right.
And so every time I get a test now, all that stuff,
it's just fine. Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah. And it really is.
Yeah.
It is about how do we approach something. It's all about how we think about it. We have that power. That is the power of creating our reality, co-creating our reality with spirit. Absolutely. So it's, let's see here.
I know I'm here for a reason because there's 4 times in my life I could have died, but God wanted me to live.
Yep, and you're still here, and
I'm still here.
And that is your spot. That is Ruth's spot. If anybody's new here and been around, that is Ruth's spot. And I have met Ruth in 2008 when I started coming here with and speaking and doing music, and Ruth was right there. And it's fantastic to see her. You look fabulous. So red's your color. So it works too. So I want you right now. I want you to just take a breath in, wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers. And what are the tendrils of fear that have been pulling at your mind? I want you to try to dance on your heart. What are those tendrils of fear? Now, don't give them power. Don't give them power. Take that. And I want you to just send absolute pure love energy at those tendrils of fear. There we go. Good. Yes. Blast those. Just pour and send love out, shooting love out into any fear. There we go. That's it. That's it. Shooting it out. And it's other words coming, it's being obliterated. Fear has no presence. Fear has no, it has no, it has no welcoming in your energy, in your heart, your body, your mind, and your spirit, your soul. This is your touchstone right now. What you're doing right now is every time there is fear and concern that comes in and grabs you and touches you, and you know it's there, I want you to use this. This is your ability. This is your power, your presence in the oneness of the beloved that overcomes anything and everything. So let's take a deep breath in, open your eyes. There we go. How are we doing? Good? Well, I want to thank you all for being here with me today, having me here today, and just know that you have it. Yeah, you've got it. And let's see, where are we at?